How do you know if effortlessness is actually possible? And how can you experiment and verify it? My name is Ravikant. In this third episode of Effortlessness series, we're going to look at the mechanics of effort and effortlessness. In this episode, we're going to look at the two different types of knowing. Then we're going to look at what thought is, what attention is, and then what awareness is. Then we're going to get into the details of effort and effortlessness. We are going to end it with a few examples where we discuss these details as looked at through those situations. Let us look at those two different types of knowing using an example. If you take a fighter aircraft and you take two different roles associated with it, one is that of an engineer and the other is that of a fighter pilot. Both involve two different types of skills, but the way an engineer or the chief engineer knows the fighter aircraft is very different from the way the pilot knows it. The pilot knows it in a way wherein it helps him use it. The designer or the engineer knows it in a way wherein it helps him build it. We are going to look at thought, attention and awareness the way the fighter pilot knows the aircraft rather than the engineer knows it, because we don't need to create or rather build a machine which creates thought or build a machine which creates attention. We are going to have to learn to use them. Thought is basically a derivative of memory. So a lot of information is collected and that information gets reflected in directly as a thought, or it could just combine itself into a larger piece of memory, and then that will be what is a slightly newer thought. And there could be something wherein it's a combination and a restructuring. That's probably a creative thought. This is all about thought. Attention is what brings a thought or a sensation or an emotion into focus. So what do I mean by focus? As you are listening to me, there could be a road somewhere close by and there could be traffic going on that road. But if your attention is on this, you will never be able to listen to it or hear it. But if your attention moves towards that, then you will be able to experience it. So attention is what allows you to experience something. Awareness is what allows you to notice the presence or absence of attention, thought, memory and sensation and all of them. For what we are doing here, awareness is the most important thing. When I use the word awareness, neither the sound nor the meaning of the word awareness is important. What is important is what this word points to. Let me explain it by using an example. Let's say you are showing me, you and I are standing on top of a terrace, and then you are showing me a building far away and it's not clear to me. What do you do? So you ask me what I can see. I might point out to a building which I can see in that direction. Maybe that's a green building. Then you're going to walk me through from that building to the specific building that you want me to see. And that's how we're going to look at awareness too in this. The earliest manifestation of effort that is easiest to spot is conflict. That is conflict in the mind. I'm going to repeat this for emphasis. The earliest manifestation of effort that is easiest to spot is the conflict in the mind. Work or any activity that comes out of a human mind without conflict always is experienced as effortless activity. Now, exhaustion is different. Exhaustion is non-optional irrespective of who you are or what the activity is. At some point of time, there will be exhaustion and you need rest. This experience of effort later gets manifested as procrastination, stress and many other unpleasant things which you don't really like. So what is the way out of this? So once there is a recognition of awareness, what happens is that you will see that there is more attention and it's also a little bit easier for you to breathe. Or when I say breathe, it's not really the breath, but a little bit relaxation or relief you feel when there is a recognition of awareness. This is one thing you can notice. The other important thing is that this recognition of awareness and this dissolution of conflict can only happen now. It cannot happen a second later or a second before. So if you were to ask the question, how long should I recognize this awareness? The question is ill-posed. It doesn't make any sense. So this recognition of awareness or this effortlessness, it is only about now. There is no question of There is no question of how can I remain effortless for the next hour. You just make sure that there is a recognition of awareness now, and then effortlessness happens now. You just do it every moment, that's it. Or this happens every moment. It is not even an action, it's just a recognition. So action can happen along with it. This is the way out of effort, and it's very simple, but it may initially prove to be little tricky. So let's look at these details of effort and effortlessness using a few examples. Let's take the example of concentration first. So as you are listening to me through this video, there might be some pressing matter in your head that's occupying or that's distracting you from this video. What do you usually do? What you usually do is you say, okay, no, I need to focus back into this video, and then you try to bring the attention back here. If the pressing matter is very engaging, you will see that this shift is very effortful. So what is the alternative? So let's look at the alternative way of handling this. When that pressing matter distracts you, just recognize the awareness. Once there is a recognition of awareness, you will see that the attention is slowly transitioning back to this video. And this way of transitioning the attention back to this video makes this whole process very effortless. And that's all you need to do for handling concentration effortlessly. Let's look at the example of cleaning utensils. Let's say you really dislike this activity. As you approach the place wherein you need to clean these utensils, you experience that dislike, but on the other hand, you also want to finish the cleaning job off. So you have this conflict. Now, at the time when you experience the dislike, instead of fighting against it by using the thought that you need to clean it, just recognize the awareness. Once that happens, you will see that there is some space that gets created, and then you have some attention. At that point of time, allow the transition into the activity of cleaning the utensils. If this happens, you will see the very same activity which you used to dislike and you used to find effortful, you will find this effortless. You need to experiment with these things. So this is just the part about cleaning utensils. Let's look at the example of decision making. Let's say you are deciding between buying two phones. Obviously, there will be something about each of these phones that you like, and you are constantly fighting between buying phone A and buying phone B. If you maintain the conflict, it will always be experienced as an effortful activity. And the bigger problem is you cannot even explain this to others. The example of phones and the decision making between phones might be something which is silly, but if you are to choose between two jobs and two locations, and the locations are a big question for you, the same conflict will continue. I want to stay in, let's say, Hyderabad, or I want to stay in San Francisco. This question will keep on bothering you. The way to handle this is, obviously you are going to research a lot and you are going to know more about the consequence of each of these decisions. That part of it won't be effortless. But the part wherein you are maintaining this conflict, wherein I want to stay closer to home or I want to stay in a much better place with a lot more opportunity, this conflict gets resolved again by recognizing awareness. Once there is a recognition of awareness, you will see it will automatically transition back to attention, and then the research and the decision making process can continue. So you will eventually reach a decision, or there will be a time limit to make this decision. One of these will decide the decision anyway, or the time limit for the decision, and the decision gets made. It's as simple as that. Let's say you decide to start doing push-ups from today or from tomorrow, and you want to make that effortless, or you want to see if that can be done effortlessly. So what happens when you start doing push-ups? Like, let's say you start doing push-ups, and then there's a thought that you want to do push-ups, and there is another thought that let's postpone it, or let's ignore it for this day. You have these other conflicting thoughts. At that point of time, you will see that what's stopping you is not really the exhaustion that comes from push-ups. It's not that your hands are really stretched out and you don't want to do any more push-ups. When you initially start, you will stop much before your hands get exhausted. You will stop at a point wherein you start finding the whole process of exercise very effortful. So at that point, all you need to do again is just recognize this conflict, and as you recognize this conflict, you will see attention welling up, and then you can continue until the point of exhaustion. So if you continue the exercise till the point of exhaustion, that's your limit, and as you keep doing it, obviously the strength builds and you can continue the same exercise every day. So this effort and this, or rather this removal of effort makes this whole process of doing exercise lot more joyful and easier for you to continue doing it every day. One of the important things for you to note is that in each of these situations, the narration of what is happening is taking longer than what is actually happening, because what is actually happening is just in that instant. There is no duration for that, but obviously to narrate it, it takes some time. So don't think that it's a complicated process. That's why you need to experiment and check. So I need 3 requests of help from you, or rather I need 3 things in which I need help from you. The first is that please you need to read the description in the video. The second is that if you want me to elaborate something, or if you want me to talk about something else, please let me know through the comments. The third is that if you are cynical, or if you are plainly optimistic without any look at the reality, you are not going to like it. But if you are still continuing, it means that you are someone who has your feet on the ground and you are constantly looking for new possibilities. Thank you for watching this, and if you know somebody who is like this, please connect me to them by sharing this video to them. In the next video, we are going to look at the cause of effort and effortlessness. That's all for now. See you in the next video again.